Hi there, and welcome to this final video of our three-part series on how to cut down your proposal process time from days to 5 minutes and win more contracts. So the faster you can complete your proposal and the higher the quality of the proposal, the higher your probability of winning that contract. And AI help us with both of these. Before we jump into explaining this overall workflow and looking deep inside these modules, I would like us to go to our final destination and then work backward from that. Our final destination is having a proposal completed dynamically. So for that, we have a template to start from. And with the template, so this is created in esignatures.io. Today, we are not going to talk about how this proposal is created, but in future videos, we can talk about how to create this. This proposal is dynamic because it has placeholders that we populate as we get information specific to the client we talk to during our discovery call. So these are the dynamic fields that get populated, and these are fields that we collected during the meeting and also from our pricing sheets and to be able to create price. And we also have the agreement section, the legal section that we have. Again, consult with your lawyer to have a final agreement. And then we have a signature block. So now that we saw our final destination, let's go back to the workflow and see how we get these fields to bring it here. So to have less operations and pay less for make.com side of things, we are going to have only one place where we pull the data from, and it is going to be from this database. You can call it CRM, you can call it anything you want. So this can be your CRM that is different from Google Sheets. Anything that is in the cloud, we can bring data into it. So the green tabs here are pieces of information coming from our form, and then information after this column is something we populated to be able to have everything in one place. For example, the multiplier here, given the project complexity we assessed during our meeting, we are going to determine the price based on that. So this is an array formula. It applies to the whole column, so you don't need to create specific formulas for each cell. And this price here, you can add more dimensions. Let's say you want your price to reflect the value you create for your client. So value-based pricing. So you can add a dimension here that also is going to affect the price based on the value created. We are going to keep it simple and assume that the price is only affected by the complexity of your proposal automation project. And based on the complexity also, it will dictate the duration of the project. And we also brought other pieces of information in here so that, again, we have everything in one place and we are going to have more efficient process. Now, let's go back to the workflow. So you will see that there are variables here that we create. So these variables, let's start here. So these variables are data coming from the form. So it is important to have this so that we can accomplish two things. One, it's going to be easier to map it to the proposal template later on. And also we can maintain a natural language for our form so that our users have good experience when they are completing the forms during a meeting. And so once the information comes to the Google Sheets, we want to wait a little bit, like 3 seconds, before we do other things to ensure that everything is populated in the Google Sheets. And because we are pulling information from one place, so we have additional information in addition to information from the forms. So this is where this comes into play. So this is going to bring it the rest of the information from those columns to the right. So and that's all for that. Once we have the information, we can map it to variables so that later on, so these variables we can easily populate into our proposal template. So that's all there is to it here. So it's just mapping the variables. And once we have that, we also know that we collected website URL so that we are able to create value proposition that our client is creating for their own customers to allow us to reference it in our proposal to show that, to make it more personalized and to show also the client that we did our homework, we understand their business. That will impress the client, and that's accomplished using an HTTP call to bring information from the website. So this is the setup of the HTTP call. So it's just using the base settings, with the exception of making sure this is the content type is JSON so that we can parse it later on. So once we have the information, it's coming from the website, it's going to be HTML. So we want to convert it to text so that we minimize the amount of text going into AI later on, because the larger the text, the higher the number of tokens, and then the higher the price to pay for the AI model. So now that we have parsed this, once we parse it, that can leave behind some residues such as HTTP, HTTPS, image extension .jpeg, etc. So we want to clean it further. So we use an expression here, a regular expression. So you can copy this to see exactly what we are cleaning up for here. So primarily it's going to be the links, HTTP, HTTPS, and other residue that we got. So, and it's using the default setting, so there is nothing more to that. And once we create that, so the next thing is to create the value proposition using AI. So anytime we ask AI to do something, we have to give instructions. Those instructions are called prompts. So this is the prompt that we are giving here. So you can read this later on to have a um, the full understanding of the prompt that we are asking. So once we have a value proposition created, we want ChatGPT to create the proposal. The reason we are breaking this into pieces is when you give small tasks to ChatGPT, the result is better. And so the proposal here, we are also going to give instruction to ChatGPT about what to do with the information. We want always ChatGPT to be professional when it's writing things, and we give it the information in the placeholders that we collected earlier, so it understands what we want it. And also, we also want to tell ChatGPT what is the format of the output we expect. And we expect JSON because it's easier to parse it and to pass it to other applications downstream. So that's why we're doing that. And the same way we give instruction to ChatGPT to create the pricing based on the complexity and the type of project. So it's going to create the pricing, bring it here, and then we can use it in the automation. So this is, and also let me make this disappear so that you can see the whole thing. We always want to give examples to ChatGPT so that it knows what we expect from it. That's done. Then once these are done, we also map it to variables. So once it's in JSON format, we can put it into variables to make it easy for us to map it to our proposal template. So this is what this is doing here. And the pricing also is going to be broken down here so that we can use it in the proposal template. So that's that. So now with all these things, we can send dynamically information to the proposal template and generate it. We in the last video, the first video we saw the output. We started by sending information from Google Form, and it ran through this whole process and created a proposal and email it to the client, and the client signed it, and then that was the end of it. So in a nutshell, this is how you can cut down on your proposal process time to win more contracts. If you have more questions, feel free to leave comments in the comment section. And I want to thank you for watching this video. And if you found value in this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next video.